Superman 78, The Metal Curtain, Issue 3. Part 3 of the 6-part miniseries, the sequel to the sequel. I mean, it's meant to be between the two movies, between Superman 1 and 2. Anyway, but it's a sequel to the first Superman 78 series, which I finally read. I finished reading it. I actually did a binge read. I decided to, normally I read an issue a night, but then I was like, fuck it. I'll read the whole thing. And that's what I did. I sat in a hot weather with a fan on, reading Superman 78, and guess what? It's really damn good with Brainiac and all that. I'm like, you know what? I'm surprised I didn't stay on reading this book when it was coming out in singles. But anyway, so what is happening with this issue, with issue 3 of the Metal Curtain, is that it's all about the aftermath. You know, in issue 2, Superman meets Metallo. Superman gets his ass beaten by Metallo, not knowing that he has a kryptonite heart. And it's pretty much just the aftermath. I mean, we are, and it's really well done. It's really well written. It's not so, the issue I had with last month's issue, with issue 2, was literally, it just felt, it was over. It felt like, okay, Lois is is in the Fortress of Solitude, finds out that, Jor-El and Lara are alive because of the Kandor, because of Brainiac, and all that kind of stuff that happened in the first series, in the original Superman 78 story, and then it's the fight between Superman and Talia. I was like, really? This is it? Okay. It felt really quick. It felt like I just started reading it 2 minutes ago, not just 15 minutes ago or 20 minutes ago, how long it would take me to read it for me when it came to issue 2. With this, it takes its time because people are talking, people are having full-on conversations. We're having the introduction to Sam Lane, General Sam Lane, who of course is Lois Lane's dad. And it's typical. It's a typical version. I mean, if you want to do what would a General Lane be like in the Crystal Reeve Superman movie, he would just act like a general guy, old business. Tell us what you know, son. Stay away from what you do. You this is out of your depth. This is out of your hands, Superman. You got your ass beaten. By a guy in a metal suit. You can't beat him. So you step aside. It's like a general thing. And of course, there's even a line where it's like, oh, I understand, what's the damn thing? It's, oh, I understand why my daughter likes you so much, but I still don't trust you. Or I still don't like you. I won't have your blessing, which, Superman, this versus Superman, very old-fashioned, probably heartbreaking, once a wedding probably happening. He was about to, do a first proposal and finding out that, Clark is Supes and all that. So clearly when, Clark Kal-El finds out, he feels a little heartbroken. You're like, oh, damn it, Lane, damn it, why you have to be such a dick? Why you have to be such a dick? Can we have one version who's very oh, I trust you to the very depths. Oh yeah, it's called the Superman Lois version. But that's a long, what's it, a long version. It's hey, this is a version where, okay, the trust is there. You had to earn that trust, Clark. You had to earn that trust. And I laughed at the point where, because he's like, well, clearly you have some spy tech on you to understand where, permission stuff is heading. When the missiles were, where Metallo was, and all that. And it's like clearly people don't know much about the super hearing. So it's like, actually no, I got super hearing, General. So I don't really. So the back and forth between General and Superman is really well put together. It's like, polite, gentle, but the other guy's like, no, fuck you. It's like, okay, yep, yeah, I liking this dynamic between them. And if there's a third sequel of this, if it's like dealing with Doomsday or Parasite or whoever would be the villain be, Nuclear Man, maybe give Nuclear Man full spin, full spot. You never know. It will. I think it will go pretty well. It might born onto, Joel Lane's distrust of Superman and all that. Maybe having another showdown between Lex, because Lex shows up at the end. Lex Luthor, the brilliant mind of the century, as he also blabbers on 6 billion times in the original series, in the original book. I mean, I couldn't help but be like, God damn, he captured the Gene Hackman Lex Luthor key. Him talking about him being the greatest mind of the century. But the rest of it is like, the same conversations happening with Metallo. Like, the Washingtons are saying like, the Americans know where you that we exist now and that you exist, so you must stand down to our Akadus. This is probably a shitty Western accent. It probably sounds like I'm doing doing some stereotype thing. But that's essentially what's happening. But Metallo was not really happy at what was happening, and he's throwing tanks. Even though I'm weird about the whole thing, him exercising with pulling tanks, because I'm thinking, is it him just being in an Iron Man suit, or is he basically stuck in there at this time? I think they're implying that he's just stuck in the suit for the Metallo suit. Because that's initially what Metallo is. He's just normally Metallo is he's a robot. This time it's just a guy in a metal armor suit, so it's easy to just make him Iron Man pretty much. But I'm like, okay, we have that type of scene, and then the West is like, Clark is still affected by the kryptonite and that, and I was like, this is really well put together stuff, and Lois is very, like, the interesting thing is that now people know that Metallo is a thing, and the secrets of the American government about Metallo and about those things that happen is now out there. It'll be interesting to see how that happens and see the outcome of it. I mean, we are at the halfway point now. We got basically till March, I think March. We basically till like April to find out how this all wraps up and all that. So, yeah, I'm liking this series. Issue 2 was kind of the weakest, but so far, and it's kind of getting a bit better. But I do feel like this will be better in trade. And maybe because I read the first, the original Superman 78 series in trade, so it could easily be that. But and guess what? Now I'm on to reading, the Batman 89, so I can, when issue 2 of Echo comes out, I'm on the case. I know what happens, guys. I know what happens. Anyway, come below. What do you think of this?